Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video on this channel. So, recently, I've been noticing that the storyline for Brines is getting really confusing. So, I thought, how about I just make a video explaining the full canon storyline from start to end. Now, so it's gonna be quite a long video. The playlist of the actual Brines has 466 episodes, so it'll be quite long. But, here we go. So, the first one, summoning Blue Ike. Yeah, so it all starts off with me wanting to find a species. I want to make a survival episode with going together with the other species. So I make Blue Ike. I get Blue Ike. I summon him, and then after that I decide how about instead of just doing blue, we get all of them. So I got all of them. Blue Ike then gave me powers, which then led on to me to Blue Ike finding Green Brine. And then we found the darkness in the world. It's not just all good. There's some darkness. And Onyx Ike started messing with me for ages until I defeated him, which then led some Shadow Brine was Onyx Ike, which led some Shadow Stone on the ground, which leads all the way into the future episodes which are happening now. And then we find out the powers will end, and then they do. We make a new say. Find Rainbow Brine, the first Brine I ever find. First episode. Wait, who is this? And then we find out his name is Rainbow Brine. Plant pink trees around the town, and say falls apart by Rainbow Brine summoning Gaston Withers. Then we find out there's someone else, the White Hero Brine, which would be a light brine. He's just the opposite of Rainbow Brine, which I try summon him in by accidentally summoning light brine. So then it goes on to me trying to summon Rainbow Brine. It only summons him now. Then we do this Ike house tour in the Light Town. First episode in Light Town. Is it? I think this is the first one. Created a white. I don't know. And then finding Hero Brine was when I found Hero Brine, the original Brine. I find him. Finding out the secrets, so there's like he's actually a good Brine, we find out. So I let him out. And yeah. I don't know why this is on here. Then Hero Brine is missing. Hero Brine just decides to go away and starts causing chaos. Trying to bring back Rainbow Brine, but he's half Light Brine. Light Brine finds a secret item. I forgot what that was. What was it? Oh, it was him in a stasis machine, and then he finds out. Yeah. I can get Elytra wings, and something is following me, which then leads to Shadow Brine. But Rainbow Brine comes back. We save Rainbow Brine's life. Light blocks we find out still exist. We plant the light tree, and then we find it actually exists. Orange. This is meant to be Brown Brine, but I mixed it up. So Brown Brine returns, then we steal Brown Brine's powers. Hero Brine fights Brown Brine, yeah, we all know this. And then Super Brine comes up because he uses the Shadow Core Stone he finds from Onyx Ike on the first episode. And then we make more light blocks, then we create Rainbow Stone. We find the other people, then all my colors are taken, so then we fix it. And then Rainbow Brine loses some of his powers. We find the Super Shrine inside the town. Light Brine's dead, but he isn't really because it's just an illusion. Find the Super Palace. We defeat Super Brine. We revive Light Brine. Find out Reverse Brine's a thing. Light Town Living burns down. He makes the reverse dimension. Then we find Light Brine again. He can talk. We create Red Ike. Find Reverse Brine. And then we find out Red Ike is evil. Make the reverse portal to get out, and then we find the Light Town again. Then we find out the tree's growing and looks fair. Revive Hero Brine, and then we trap Reverse Brine. We destroy him, and then we find this Brine Temple, which then we find Shadow Brine in. Well, the Light Brine does. Shadow Brine then destroys the Light Town and talks to me. We find Light Coal, which was an opposite version of Lightstone. We make the light safe. Shadow Brine infects me. We find Shadow Fizzy. We kill Shadow Brine, but he actually still exists, which then leads to now. We restore my Minecraft skin. Light Brine's house. We find the strange cave. We find Light Brine, which then dies. We found the Rainbow of the Dark, which is actually Evil Brine. Light Brine gets killed. Evil Brine attacks the town. Evil Brine takes me to his base. We make the Brine Temple to try save stuff. Find the Rainbow King's house. Evil Brine traps me. Find Super Brine's dimension and base. Super Brine destroys the Light Town. We find the Blue Shrine. Light Brine is acting very suspicious, which is actually Prolection Brine. Prolection Brine. Light Brine is better. Super Brine destroys the town and almost kills me. The Ruins of a Light Town, the new Brine, which has actually not been in the episodes yet. Soon will be though. I'm just giving you a massive spoiler. Light Town gets destroyed again. Light Brine's past. Light Brine comes back from Brine's past. There will be other stories in here which I will not go through since they're in a different canon story. I mean, they are in the Brines Canon story. I'll go for them, but they're normally before. Super Brine returns. Find Evil Brine. The Red Dimension. We leave it. We respawn Rainbow Brine. Find Hacker Brine. Evil Brine attacks. Evil Light Brine attacks. When we heal him. Shadow and Evil Brine. Super Brine returns. Pictures of the past. So we go back and see the old Light Town. We find Cornix Brine. Now he's gonna be in a bit. Actually, was he? I'm pretty sure he was the one, or is that Conquest Brine? I'm not thinking right. Let me just find the next actual plot. We go back to the Light Town. We find Rainbow Brine and Light Brine, and then Shadow Brine comes up and destroys it. We lose it. We go to the Light Dimension. We escape it though, and then we find Morph for the first time. Morph is the fake IKMC. He traps me, and then we meet Orange Brine. Find out Santa Brine exists, and then Super Brine steals Christmas. That's not canon, is it? Is it? Yeah, it is because Santa Brine is. We find Light Brine again. We give him a name tag, and then we find out our island teleported. Then the Brine Town ruins, where the town used to be. Defeat Chaos Brine. We make the orange sword. Light Brine's crazy. Super Brine destroys Yellow Brine in the. Yeah, that's. We track fake Light Brine, which was Morph. Purple Brine arrives, and then we build the Brine Town Protector, which is a shield. We go back to the Light Dimension. We find Orange Brine and all that. We revive Light Brine, and then we go get Lightstone to power up him. Then we go to Purple Brine. We destroy Shadow Brine for the third time actually, because he was Onyx Psyche. We find the Evil Brine Kingdoms. Super Brine trapped all the Brines we knew. Then Light Brine betrays me. We go to the Light Dimension again. Super Brine gives me a vision. We make Light Brine good again. Super Brine can talk. Super Brine has control of everything. We find Bubble Brine. We give him a voice. Rainbow Brine leaves us. Super Brine destroys the town. This is just everything which happens in canon. I'm trying to think of the next one. That's all. We kill Super Brine. He kills himself to become Brown Brine. Rainbow Brine can finally talk as well. We discover Camel Brine and we finish off Pink Brine, which was the evil self from Super Brine. We discover Camel Brine, and then we find his weakness. We find out the forgotten Brines. And then we find Speed Brine, which is only in 2 episodes in the Brines. Wow. We find the Brown Brine, which was dead. Find Bubble Reiki Brine. Morph saves my life from dying to. Who was it? Dying to Camel Brine. We go back to the past. I fight Camel Brine. Light Brine moves on and stops me killing Camel Brine because Camel Brine's a part of Light Brine. Then Light Brine is destroyed by Camel Brine so that he can actually finish me. And then I think it might be the end. But Ultra Brine comes back and beats Camel Brine and gets rid of him. We find Blue Ike, then we go to the Red Kingdoms, find Camel Brine has a voice. Then I'm teleported, then we find a Red Brine. And Red Brine's dead, one of the last Red Brines ever exist. We have a massive fight, and then Camel Brine is destroyed. Find Portal Brine, and then we don't know if he's good or not. We find Hacker Brine, which tells us to leave the Brines alone. And then when I'm about to be destroyed after leaving the Brines alone, Galaxy Aura comes and saves me. Portal Brine, the truth about him, then Portal Brine gets killed by Hacker Brine. We find Power Brine. Light Brine comes back to save us. Hero Brine comes back and taunts us. It's not even the real Hero Brine, it's a fake one. Bubble Brine and Rainbow Brine come back to say hi. Elder Bubble Brine becomes Elder. Light Brine gets destroyed by Hacker Brine. The Brines movie. Now this happened way before even Blue Ike. This happens long time before Blue Ike is a thing. Now Rainbow Brine is destroyed. He wants to go to the spirit world, and he has not got much power, and he cannot help us. So he destroys himself to get up to save Light Brine. We find a ghost village, which is actually the spirit world village. And then Rainbow Brine finds me in the spirit world. We find Light Brine's ghost. And then we find the secret exit out of the spirit world. We get out. And then we destroy Hacker Brine. And then Death Brine shows up. Like, not only did we have Hacker Brine, Camel Brine, Super Brine all in a row. No, Death Brine's now here. Find a yellow Brine, we find purple, we find Power Brine is really hurt and could die. But Death Brine comes back, and we manage to trap him in his own machine after he gets powerless. And then Universe Brine comes. Death Brine, the Fallen King. Now we're now in season 2 of the Brines. That was a long season 1, eh? Wasn't it? But I find the Demogorgon. Now this is the start of something which lasts almost the full of the Brines. The simulation. Demogorgon tricks me into going into the simulation instead of just getting taken to the town. And now everything that happens after this is all in the simulation until season 10. So then we find out Neo Brine has taken over the town into a future self. Death Brine comes to the future in the simulation to try to kill me. Then I accidentally kill Neo Brine. Rainbow Brine comes to the future to say hi. Light Brine comes here, and then Light Brine is taken away and then killed for the 3rd time. Bubble Red and Green come and say hi. Find Blue Brine. Red Brine's in trouble, and then Death Brine is dead. The Brines movie second chapter, Ike the Brave. Now that is the second movie, and it comes after the Brines movie and before. This is right before I find Blue Brine. It ends when I find Blue Brine. Okay? And then, so Storm Brine comes here. Try to restore the tree after the tree was taken away on the future. We find Brine, the original Brine. Storm Brine. Light Brine is revived, and we find Light Brine's memories are back. Storm Brine absorbs me, and then Storm Brine leaves the game, and then Storm Brine kills himself in doing that. I get back on. Power Brine returns, then the infection of death, which killed almost half the Brines in the Light Town. Angel and Demon Brine. Now, this is inside the spirit world, which we go to try to save Rainbow Brine. We find them two, the brothers. Now, I thought at first Angel Brine was bad, but it was actually Demon Brine was good. But it was the opposite way around, and I betrayed Angel Brine, and I let Demon Brine into the Light Town. Now, Demon Brine then betrays me. Demon Brine then absorbs Rainbow Brine when we're trying to get more power after he was killed. And then I work with Angel Brine to try to get rid of him. Now, this is not canon at all. Then we find the Dark Wizard, which is the old Shadow Brine, which led himself to the Dark Spirit world. And then, yeah, he is the same Brine which was in the original videos. Yeah. Then we find Chaos Brine. Then we find the Alex era, and we say goodbye to the Brine before he goes into space to make his own planet. Find Demon Brine's natural disasters. The Brines are home. They come back to try save us from what is the black hole, which will end all life. And then Shadow Brine comes back. Bubble Brine comes back. The Fred group from the Brine's past. Light Brine comes to save me. Time Brine comes to warn us. Neil Brine comes back. Heal Brine. And then the disasters, the light drone, and then the end of Brine Season 2, which ends in the black hole devouring the fuel universe. This is when we're introduced to the 10 universes which make up a world, the 10 multiverses that stimulate all living. But if one's destroyed, time is destroyed. So if all 10 are gone, time's gone forever. So then in Brine Season 3, it should have just replayed the full of Season 2 again, because this is a simulation. But no, instead of there, we go into space. Find the evil asteroid Brines. Find the Bubble Planet and the Brines. We go to the Obsidian Planet, and we find out Brines Planet is the Obsidian Planet. Find out the Portal of Death, Scary In Between, and then the New Legacy, which we find Red Noob and the other noobs. Noob King, Morph Survives, Space Holders Universe, Lightbrine's Time Loop, and then inside the multiverse we find, because Lightbrine went inside the multiverse, and then this is how he's became really weak over time. Then we give Rainbow Brine a name. We find Demon Brine is actually good and wants to help us after he almost destroyed the full planet with his natural disasters. Rainbow Brine needs help, and then we find Spirit Brine again. We fix Rainbow Brine. We go to World 2, and then we find out Bubble Brine is still alive, which is good. We revive Bubble Brine's powers, and then we find out Rainbow Brine is dying. So we make a new Rainbow Brine to then put them in together. This is all on World 2 after World 1, which is Iris got destroyed in one of the universes. Anyways, we find another Rainbow Brine, we make them, and then we merge them together, and then Rainbow Brine, instead of becoming Rainbow, becomes Fusion Brine. We find the Notches, which were hiding inside another server connected to the Brines. I get all my powers, and then I go into the Notch server to say hi. We make a portal hub in between all of them. We find Cornex Brine again. We find Iris, which was the old one, and now we're in Season 4. With the shortest season. that's just the description for it. We say bye to Iris for the last time before going back to World 2. We find all the Brines again, we say hi to them, and then my plan is to leave. So I leave the server for Season 5 to begin. In Season 5, we say goodbye. They see that Super Brine's been revived in another universe. And Power Brine comes back to save us. So after Power Brine comes to save us all, we find out Power Brine's fear is Foilable Brine, which is the complete opposite of Power Brine. It's Weakness Brine. Yeah. And then Evil comes back through Gold Brine. which decides to go to the to the um to the evil dimension, the multiverse, and power up a lot of evil Brines. And that's when Lightbrine finds Soulfire the Wizard, which is the opposite of the Dark Wizard. And then the old villain Shadowbrine comes back. And then he merges with every single evil Brine in existence to make Ultra Shadow. And then I return just in time to save Lightbrine from getting killed by the Ultra Shadow. We leave World 2, we destroy Shadowbrine in the past, and then time ends. Time gets destroyed, which is the end of another 3 universes. So 4 universes are destroyed, 4 multiverses. Brines Season 7 starts, which is the Brines reboot, which has nothing to do with the actual canon storyline. So we'll just skip this. Season 8 starts. We find out a new island after Time Brine respawns us. And Fighter Brine, which was originally inside the Brine Empire with Shadowbrine, betrays us after we think he's actually good, which is a really dumb mistake. We defeat him after he's trying to kill us. We build more of the town, and then I get taken back to Light Town. And this is where Season 9 starts. I begin my journey in the wild. That's the end of another 2 multiverses. So we're now on the 8th multiverse. The 8th. If these 2 gets destroyed, time ends, remember? So we find the Demogorgon. We go back to Light Town. This is inside the simulation still, so it's basically repeating Season 2. Like, this would have happened Season 3, Season 4, Season 5, Season 6, Season 7, Season 8, Season 9, Season 10. And then just repeated over and over again. We've not ended until time ended. Season 2. And this is basically Season 2 again, but in a better complex form. So, we find Light Brine, same as Season 2. We find the Scrape Brine, which is instead of Death Brine. The Light Town's destroyed by him, so Death Brine did not manage to do that, but Scrape did. Second attack, which burns down the rest of the town and the tree. I fight against Scrape. I managed to defeat Scrape Brine, and then he blows up the universe with his defeat. So now we're on the 9th multiverse, Season 9, 9th multiverse. If this one gets destroyed, time ends. Remember? So as soon as I get there, I speak to Universe 1. We find out Demon Brine's the only hope with his disasters. The Dark Dimension, which is where Shadowbrine and the Dark Wizard managed to like form. Universe Brine comes and saves me from in prison. And then we find the black hole. It comes to try and end us. We defeat the Dark Wizard in time. And then Vortex Brine comes to try stop us. But then we get Speed Brine. Speed Brine returns. Remember that other episode he was in? Yeah, this is the second episode he's in. Then the universes are mad at me, which is basically Universe 1 to Universe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for betraying them and not saving them. Herobrine comes back, takes a big look at the black hole, as you can see, and is in shock that that's going to end the universe. Stormbrine comes back, manages to merge with me, and does all that, but then I snap out of it. We defeat him. Ultra Brine loses Rainbow Brine, and then Evil Brine attacks the tree. Evil Brine in hibernation for the last 9 seasons comes back to defeat a massive tree, which no one would have been able to do back when Evil Brine was there. Then we find Galaxy Brine after unmerging the real Universe Brine, because Universe Brine from up here is a fake Universe Brine, which is actually someone in disguise. Now that's not even been explained yet, but it will soon be. We find the tree core to bring it back in the past. We return home into the actual original Season 9 world. We find the disasters of death which flooded the full town, and then there's a second Light Town drone. Which, let me just say that explains what's going to happen next. The town ends. Time ends. Well, only one person could stop this time. No one. Last time we fought, this was the last time which everything would end. Because time would end after this. But God Brine finally stepped in and stopped the black hole ending the time and universe. Anyways, movie 3 happens, which is based in the future and the fall of the heroes. Which is like Power Brine and Rainbow Brine and Shadow Brine's in there. Yeah. This has nothing to do with canon. I mean, it might do because there's some characters. No, it's not canon. It's like a bit canon, but it's not because it's not in actual canon. Season 9, Part 2 canon line. It's just random. It's from up here-ish. It starts. Anyways, we find out the Light Town survived the black hole. We destroy it and make it a lump in the sky. And then I made my original canon storyline explained, but that only explained what happened in season 9. We managed to blow up the black hole from inside and burn it down, which was the best feeling ever, let me just say that. We find Galaxy Aura, he returns. Light Aura, which is Light Brine mixed with Galaxy Aura, because Light Brine was really weak and hiding in his hibernation area. We find Ravana the Shadow Spirit, which was in Brines movie 3, but we just decided, how about we just make an actual thing? So we did. We make the light shield, which was similar to the one up here-ish, like ages ago. We find out that Brines is a simulation. This is the biggest plot twist in the full, the full story. 8. Let me just say, there's 8 series which take place inside the simulation. 8 seasons take place in the simulation. And then we find it out, it's actually a full simulation that everything's been repeating. There's no such thing as the 10 universes. And then, me and Godbrine, well, Godbrine's not even in the simulation, he's been hiding it behind his back. So he knew that. So whenever I'm at Godbrine's place, I'm not in the simulation. So then, season 10 starts. The first episodes of season 10 is Santa Rain, we're not going to talk about. And where's the first? We find the laboratory, which is where I respawn. After everything happened. We decide to explore the Light Town. After returning home, after Hacker Brine respawns me into the new world. Let me just say, Hacker Brine, we weren't on good terms up here-ish, but then we became. We find out Light Brine returns from the Brine's adventures with a friend, yeah? Prolection Brine betrays me. So remember that Prolection Brine up here, which done a lot to the town, which disguises that other Brine to destroy it? He, which we thought was good for ages, betrays me. Only 9 seasons after what actually happened. I think about that. Godbrine shows me that there's a bounty, and the bounty is to catch Prolection Brine's creation, which is Corruption Brine. So we get taken to villages by Ultra and Godbrine. We find out Corruption Brine destroyed an entire pink village. We find out that the red village, we find the red village which had the surviving red brains in them. Because, well, all the red brains which we thought was real was all in a simulation. So yeah, we turn Corruption Brine in after we catch him. After me and him have an epic duel. After he's using his Hacker Brine skills. And then we receive the bounty. The bounty was a red Ike core and a Rainbow Brine core. So I can bring back red Ike and Rainbow Brine. So I revive them both. Red Ike is back now. Remember, Red Ike was evil. We thought he might have changed now, But then, as soon as we get him back, he merges with Ike, the original Ike, which is me. His destiny though was when he could control me, I could control him. When when he controls me, my voice is just normal. I sound the exact same. But then when I am him, my voice becomes all robotic-y and distorted. But then he blows up my entire house and Bubblebrine's house and half of the watchtower and a lot is blown up by him. Then we find there's a thing called the auras and what's reality and not, because we just came out a massive simulation lasting 9 seasons. Anyways, we recreate Ultra Brine and we find the Light City, which is the future version of the city. We find the 4 auras, which will make up what's reality and what's not. We find the auras after respawning them all to find out what's reality and what's not. And this is where it ends. I'm sorry, but that's a massive cliffhanger. This is where it ends. This is the last episode. Posted on the Brines just today, where I'm recording. Which, when I'm recording, is the 14th of February. So, yep. So, yeah, so I thought to also take a wee tell you guys what I'm gonna be doing. So, like, let me just scroll through this. So the Brines has been going on for like 3 years. I'm not taking a break or anything. If not, I'm getting more episodes. I'm making it better. So I'm gonna be starting from now, not uploading Brines. Well, maybe uploading like Skywars or something because I like Skywars now. It's fun. So I might be uploading like Skywars videos again since you saw I done a Skywars video a bit ago on how I suck at it. I'm okay at it. Like I wouldn't say I'm really good, but anyways, I was thinking, how about I just take a break from Brines? Well, I'm not taking a break. I'm actually gonna be recording more, but then I'm gonna edit it all and upload them every single day. So if anything, you get more for just waiting a bit. Cause I can record like 2 videos in 20 minutes. So yeah, we'll see some Brines soon. Starting off with some more auras. It's gonna get into the best part of the Brines since probably season 2. Season 2 was my favorite season. You know, even though season 9 was really similar and trying to get better than it. Nah, season 2, nothing could beat it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want more video of like talking and narration, then just leave it in the comments below. But hope you guys enjoyed. Let's just scroll through all the episodes because there's 429. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys soon. Goodbye.